What's Gucci, everybody? It's AJ here again, and today I want to talk about C and the header files. So as you can see here, I have a main.c file with just a regular main function that prints out this is a C program. Now, as you can see, I don't have the usual include standard I/O that I do, or any constants or method definitions that I usually do. And what I want to teach you guys about in this video is header files. Now, in all the other previous videos, I have showed you how to make functions in C and use the include statements and macros and constants and things of that conjuncture. But now that we're more advanced and we know about all this stuff, it's good to teach you about header files. And what header files allow you to do is kind of create an interface between the C file that allows you in the header file to write all of your include statements, all your definitions, and all your method definitions, macros, and anything else you may get. Oh, and constants. I almost forgot about those. And so in your main.c file, it allows you just to write method definitions instead of method headers, and declare them and define those and kind of create an abstraction. And in doing this, you'll see at the end that you can include a header file, and everything that you can include is in that one file. And what's awesome about header files is you can include that header file in other C programs, so you can elsewhere define those constants or have that nice functionality and include statements instead of having to write it in every single C function. That's why it's nice to make a header file. So let me show you guys. So I have a main.c file here, and it prints out this is a C program. Now if I run it, it will print out this is a C program, but I get a warning. Implicit declaration of function printf. What this basically means is that it's still running, but I didn't include the standard input-output that I usually do, the stdio.h. And for a while, I didn't teach you guys what that .h meant, but what that .h stands for is header. And what it does is that when I do an include statement, stdio.h, and I use the brackets, it's looking in the machine files, in the Windows files for the stdio.h file, and it's linking the stdio.h file with other C files that define printf and connecting it with my C program so that I can print out printf. And if I do this, the warning goes away, and again I get the same result. And so but you want to make sure you include stio.h always, or include other things, even though it may have different results on different computers. So you always want to make it standard. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut this out, and I'm going to go over to my header file. And a header file is just, instead of a .c file, it's anything .h. I called it header.h. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to include stio.h. And what this does is, instead in main.c, I can include my header file, header.h, and that will link up with the main.c file and have all those include statements. Also, what I'm going to do, just for more definitions, I'm going to define a constant. So I'm going to define a constant 100. And I don't need a semicolon because I'm using the define marks, and these are not statements. So there you go. I have a header file, and in it I include the standard input-output, and I define a constant. So this is C program, and let me print out the percentage. Let me let me print out that constant that I just made, and let me run this program. Oh wait, it says symbol constant cannot be resolved. But wait, I defined in the header file. So what did I not do? Oh, you know what I didn't do? I did not include the header file in my main.c file. It doesn't know what to link up with. It doesn't know what to look at. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do hashtag include, just like I'm including stio.h. But instead of those little brackets or arrows, I kind of like to call them, the arrowheads, I'm going to use quotations for my header.h file. And the reason because I'm using quotations instead of brackets is that, let me take you back here, I use the arrow brackets, or greater than or less than 2 symbols, when I want to include a header file that's within the main.c files, the Windows files as I call them, since I'm on Windows. It's located within the Windows files. But if I'm making my own header file, I want to include it. I want to use quotations to say, oh, hey, this is a local file and not a system file. So the brackets mean a system file, while the quotations mean a system. I mean a local. The quotations mean a local file, and the brackets mean a system file. Something I also must include is that since in my scenario I have made the main.c file and the main.h file in the same folder, so it knows it just has to look for .h. But if my .h file is not in the same folder, I may have to do a directory where I do /aj/tutorials, something like that to get to the .h file. Just something that you're considerate of. But now since I've done that, I've included .h, I can print this out. Boom, this is C100, and it recognizes constant because it's looking. I've included the .h file and says, oh, hey, constant's there. So this is very nice. This is very nice if I have multiple C files all working together, and instead I want them all to include 5 statements, and instead of typing them out or copying and pasting, I can just include the same header file once and have all that and construct all those things. Or if I wanted to get rid of a constant or change a constant, all I would need to do is change it within the header file. So if I had more than one C file, you get the deal. I can make this 99 and then it prints out. Well, guys, I hope this is great on I hope you guys understand header files more, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. And an example code will be on GitHub, and the next tutorial will be a little bit more advanced headers, and I will show you how to make sure you don't make some simple mistakes with header files. Thank you, guys.